Breaking news tonight. Tensions in the Persian Gulf have erupted into open conflict. Iran challenges the U.S. Navy and pays a heavy price for its bold move, setting off a chain of events that will be felt around the world. Explosions rock the Persian Gulf, lighting up the night sky and sending shockwaves across the region. Sirens wail along Iran's coast, echoing through cities and villages as civilians scramble for safety. Reports flood in. Tomahawk missiles streak across the sky, their trails visible for miles, while drones swarm low over radar stations searching for targets. The world is watching, breath held, as one of the sharpest military confrontations in recent memory unfolds before our eyes. Every second brings new developments. It began just before midnight, local time. Iranian fast attack boats darted near a U.S. carrier strike group, testing the limits and drawing a swift response. Tensions, already high, snapped. Within minutes, the U.S. ordered a full-scale response, mobilizing its forces with precision and speed. Headlines across the globe flashed. Persian Gulf erupts, U.S. Navy strikes back. Newsrooms scramble for details, trying to keep up with the rapidly changing situation. Social media lights up with shaky phone videos of distant fireballs and sirens. The sound of jets overhead is unmistakable, and fear spreads quickly online. Across Iran, military personnel are jolted awake. This is not a drill. Soldiers rush to their posts, bracing for what comes next. As dawn breaks, the scale of the operation starts to come into focus. Fires burn across Iranian naval bases, and emergency crews race to contain the damage. The world is witnessing a new chapter in modern warfare: precision, speed, and overwhelming force. The balance of power in the region may never be the same. The U.S. Navy's response is immediate and overwhelming. In the darkness, crews move with practiced precision, their training kicking in as alarms echo through the steel corridors. From the decks of destroyers and submarines, Tomahawk cruise missiles launch into the night sky. The launches are synchronized, a display of both power and coordination. Their engines roar to life, flames trailing behind them as they arc toward their targets. The missiles slice through the darkness, leaving glowing trails that briefly illuminate the sea below. Within seconds, dozens are airborne, each programmed for a different target deep inside Iranian territory. The sky is suddenly alive with streaks of light, each missile following a carefully plotted course. Radar operators on U.S. ships monitor the progress. Screens fill with tracks as the missiles fly low, hugging the ground to avoid detection. Every blip is a weapon in motion, guided by satellite and onboard computers. Operators confirm, all birds away, impact in 5 minutes. There is tension, but also absolute focus. Every second is measured, every action deliberate as the countdown ticks away. On shore, Iranian air defense crews scramble. Sirens begin to blare, echoing through city streets and military bases. Some operators see incoming missiles only at the last possible moment. There's little time to react, and confusion spreads as warnings flash across their screens. The night erupts in flashes as the first wave of Tomahawks slams into radar sites and missile batteries. The attack is both surgical and devastating, with explosions lighting up the horizon and sending shockwaves through the defenses. Key air defense nodes are hit first, leaving gaps for the next phase. The U.S. Navy has set the tempo, and Iran is already struggling to keep up, forced onto the defensive as the battle unfolds in the darkness. Inside a U.S. Navy Combat Information Center, the atmosphere is electric. Red-lit screens glow. Sailors in headsets call out missile tracks and target updates. Every second counts. The mood is tense but confident. Years of training come into play as each team member performs with precision. Half a world away, Iranian radar operators watch their scopes in disbelief. Blips appear out of nowhere, moving fast. Some shout orders trying to retarget air defense missiles. Others scramble to switch to backup systems. Confusion spreads as screens flicker and go dark, destroyed by the initial missile strikes. The human drama is intense. An Iranian commander pounds his fist on the table as he loses contact with 2 coastal batteries. A U.S. officer, meanwhile, calmly directs the next wave of attacks. "Stand by for drone ingress," he says, voice steady over the radio. This moment shows the difference between 2 militaries, one ready, technologically advanced and rehearsed, the other surprised, scrambling and suddenly on the back foot. As soon as the first missiles hit, the U.S. launches a new wave. This time, low-cost drones. Hundreds fill the sky, flying at different altitudes and speeds. Their purpose is clear: trigger Iran's remaining air defenses, force them to reveal their locations, and waste valuable missiles and ammunition on cheap targets. Iranian operators, desperate to stop the incoming threat, light up their radars and fire at will. Within minutes, anti-aircraft guns and surface-to-air missiles fill the sky with tracers and explosions. Many drones are hit, but the swarm is too large. For every drone destroyed, 2 more slip through. Back on U.S. Navy ships, officers track each engagement. They're using up missiles fast, one analyst notes. The plan is working perfectly. Iranian missile stocks deplete rapidly. Their radar signatures, now exposed, are marked for destruction in the next attack. By the time the drone wave subsides, Iran's air defenses are battered and exposed. The stage is now set for the next, more lethal phase. With Iranian air defenses overwhelmed, the sky opens for Allied jets. From carriers and distant airfields, American F-35s and F-15s take off, engines screaming. Israeli F-35I Adirs join the formation, their stealth profiles invisible to most remaining radar. Each pilot knows their target and timing to the second. In the cockpit, the world is just a blur of data. Pilots check weapon systems, confirming coordinates for bunkers, missile sites, and command centers. Night vision goggles reveal the ground below, glowing with fire from earlier strikes. The radio crackles, weapons free, commence attack. Precision-guided bombs drop away from the wings. Some targets are hit simultaneously from different angles. The coordination is seamless, each strike timed to exploit the chaos below. Iranian interceptors try to scramble, but are quickly engaged and driven back by American and Israeli fighters. Within minutes, the network of Iranian military bases starts to collapse. The air armada has achieved air dominance, and the operation moves to its next phase. The campaign now focuses on Iran's most critical military infrastructure. Naval bases along the Gulf are hammered by precision strikes. Submarine pens, carefully hidden under concrete, are cracked open by bunker-busting bombs. Fuel depots erupt in fireballs that light up the coastline. Special attention is given to missile launchers hidden in mountain caves and mobile platforms. U.S. and Israeli fighters, using real-time intelligence, identify and destroy dozens of launch vehicles before they can be used. Drone warehouses, stocked with hundreds of Iranian UAVs, go up in flames after direct hits. Satellite imagery shows the extent of the damage. Docks are torn apart. Wrecked boats list in shallow water. Black smoke rises over once busy command centers. Iranian crews abandon their posts, radios silent. By sunrise, Iran's ability to project naval power in the Gulf has been shattered. The precision and speed of the strikes leave little chance for recovery. With military targets burning, the operation pivots to Iran's command and control. Specialized electronic warfare jets, EA-18G Growlers, jam radio and satellite links. Cyber teams launch attacks, disabling internet and intranet networks across government and military sectors. Communications blackout spreads within hours. Iranian commanders struggle to relay orders. Mobile phones become useless as cell towers are hit. Emergency broadcasts fall silent. The confusion deepens as rumors and half-truths spread among troops and civilians alike. American and Israeli forces exploit the chaos, launching further strikes on backup command posts and relay stations. The aim is clear: prevent any coordinated Iranian counterattack. Without communication, even the best-equipped forces are powerless. By midday, Iran's military is effectively blind and deaf. The operation's careful planning has severed the nerve center of Iranian defense. As the sun rises, the true scale of the destruction becomes clear. Iranian naval bases lie in ruins. Burned-out armored vehicles litter roads near missile sites. Blackened craters mark where command centers once stood. The smell of smoke and burning fuel hangs heavy in the air. Across Iranian cities, citizens wake to the distant sound of explosions and the sight of foreign jets streaking overhead. Emergency crews rush to put out fires and tend to the wounded, but many military sites are inaccessible. Panic mixes with confusion, as information is scarce and rumors spread quickly. Survivors describe the attack as unlike anything we have ever seen. Some huddle in bomb shelters, listening for updates that never come. Others try to call loved ones but find the lines dead. The government's silence only deepens the fear. By evening, the message is clear. Iran's military power in the region has been dealt a crippling blow. Recovery will take years, if it is possible at all. The operation ends as quickly as it began. U.S. and Israeli forces withdraw to secure positions, maintaining a heightened state of alert, prepared for any last-ditch response or unexpected escalation from Iran. The atmosphere is tense but disciplined, as troops regroup and reinforce defensive lines. Satellites and drones continue to sweep the skies, monitoring for missile launches or signs of regrouping forces. Despite the vigilance, there is little activity detected, no significant movement, no coordinated counterattack. The region remains under close watch, every signal and movement scrutinized. Iran's military is unable to organize a meaningful counterattack. Confusion and disarray dominate their ranks, with many units cut off from central command and lacking clear orders. News outlets around the world break into live coverage, reporting on the operation's overwhelming success and the rapid collapse of Iran's military response. Analysts highlight the speed, precision, and overwhelming technological advantage demonstrated by the US and its allies. They note how electronic warfare and intelligence gathering played a decisive role. Iran's navy and missile forces are in disarray, command networks are shattered, and key assets have been neutralized or destroyed. The country's ability to retaliate, or even communicate, has been reduced to nearly zero. Iranian officers scramble to restore basic communications, but the damage is extensive. In Washington and Tel Aviv, officials issue short, measured statements, emphasizing restraint and the necessity of the operation. The operation has achieved its objectives, a Pentagon spokesman says, underscoring the mission's success and the minimal Allied casualties. We have ensured the safety of our forces and partners in the region, reinforcing our commitment to regional stability and security. In summary, Iran challenged the US Navy, testing the resolve and capabilities of the Allied forces. The response was swift, carefully planned, and devastatingly effective, leaving little room for doubt about Allied superiority. Iran's military infrastructure lies in ruins, with critical bases and weapons systems rendered inoperable. Its ability to retaliate is crippled, and the chain of command is broken. The world now watches for what comes next. But tonight, in the Gulf, the message is unmistakable. Overwhelming force has set the terms of engagement, and a new balance of power has been established.